It's been a fun open line tonight. Thank you for being
I'm not
a part
ignoring
of it.
you. I was just, you were asking me about stories, so I was trying to remember some favorite stories. But you keep going.
Okay. Well, okay, Chris. By the way, you can call and ask Chris your questions too. 615-737+. This is our last segment, so if you've been contemplating,
now's your time.
Do it now,
Josh.
He ain't coming
now's
back.
your time, Josh. Call in.
What do you have a favorite story?
I have a lot of favorite. I have a lot of stories that have stayed with me.
Okay.
Like the first one that comes to mind was probably the first really long form story I did when I was here. It was like 7 years ago. Mike Rose and I shot this beautiful story about this girl at Father Ryan High School, and she realized that veterans from the school who had left to go off to World War II had to leave the high school in the middle of their career and just didn't get their high school diplomas. So they went back and started finding these people and were giving them the honorary degrees. And Mike Rose spent days shooting this, and it was right around Veterans Day, so we went to the Veterans Cemetery one morning at like 6 in the morning, and we were there as the sun was rising. It was a beautiful story. And then Angie Dones and I shot this really great story one time. This mom, her name's Amber, and we had run into her on a different story. She was pregnant, and then she got diagnosed with breast cancer, and was going through she had to stop her chemo because the chemo would kill the baby, but the chemo would save her from the breast cancer. So we followed her through this journey, and we followed her through the end of her chemo treatments. Finally, like a couple years later, she's doing well. She's doing fine. Yeah, good. And the baby's fine, and she just had another kid.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's great. I love it. Okay, we're going to go back to the phone lines, but we can return to that question here in a second. John is on the line. John, thanks for calling in tonight. John, are you with us? You got to listen to your TV instead of, or listen to your phone instead of the TV.
Hello.
Hi,
hey,
John. Go ahead. You might want to turn down that TV in the background.
We would like to invite you, since you love flying so much, we would like to have you come and visit our fly-in at Shelbyville. We have fly-in breakfast every fourth Saturday of the month.
What is a fly-in breakfast?
Well, people fly in and we cook breakfast, and we have a hangar there at Shelbyville, and we have breakfast, and maybe you could bring the Channel 5 helicopter.
Well, I might just have to talk to our pilot about that.
Yeah. Oh,
well, you would love it. Sometimes we'll, maybe if the weather's good, we'll have 150 people there.
And you know what? No, John, you know what you just reminded me of? For my birthday last year, my parents gave me a skydiving gift certificate for Tullahoma, and I still haven't used it, so I need to go skydiving, and it's kind of down in the area.
You probably would meet some of these people from Tullahoma and Nashville.
Yeah, because you got Tullahoma has the Beechcraft, the museum down there, right?
Right, John Parrish and I
I have been around.
Fly-ins together.
Well, thank you, John. I appreciate it.
That is very cool. Okay, I'm gonna push him to do that. I think that's
Remember that would be every fourth Saturday.
Fourth Saturday. Okay. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
You have a good night.
Appreciate you watching and calling in. That's fun.
There are some very kind people out there.
Truly kind.
Yes. So Southern hospitality.
Why have you not gone skydiving yet?
I don't know, because my parents gave it to me for my 30th birthday, and they were here for my 30th birthday. My mother very passionately said I was not allowed to do it while she was here because I think she was terrified of it. Yeah. And I just forgot about it, and I haven't done it yet.
You should do it. I know. I've done it once.
Yeah.
And that was enough.
Okay.
I mean, it was an amazing experience. I have no desire to do it again, especially now that I'm a mom.
I am more afraid of bungee jumping, I think, than skydiving. Because I just feel like there's too much those cords, and it rips back on your legs.
Yeah, there are cords, and you rip back in the.
I know.
But, you know. I know. It is an amazing.
You know, we're talking about flying. I was telling our pilot tonight this story that I loved doing. One of my favorite stories. There's a group in town. You remember this? Called Pilots for Paws.
Yes.
And they fly dogs around when they get adopted. And we did this story a couple years ago where this soldier came home, and he was up in Seattle, and his mom had the dog here in Nashville, and like a group of 4 pilots flew the dog home to Seattle, and this dog flew like he was in the front seat. He was like the co-pilot in this plane, just sitting there, and the plane took off, and he was just sitting there with his goggles, like looking out on the horizon. Oh my gosh, I love that story. It was great.
You have a dog of your own.
I do, Cooper.
Who's waiting patiently.
I know, poor Cooper. Sorry, Cooper, if you're watching this. I haven't been home yet to let you out, so I've been working all night.
Do you leave the TV on for Cooper?
No, he does not. I don't think he recognizes my voice. So, sometimes I'm not sure he likes me, but
yes, he does.
He's good. He's made some appearances on Channel 5.
Oh, has he?
He's in the newsroom sometimes. He's been in live shots. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know he's been in live shots.
He is a shelter dog from Lebanon. New leash on life. Thank you to those folks out there. I adopted him a couple years ago.
Loves being in the newsroom, and everybody loves it when he comes here.
Who doesn't love a yellow lab?
Yeah, it's good newsroom therapy when
you guys have like the same hair color. It's probably why people are drawn to you.
Except his is probably, well, I don't, was that a compliment?
Yes.
I don't know. You said I look like a dog.
No.
I don't know.
We have a heart out, don't we?
Yes, it is time for us to say goodnight. Just about. We'll be right back after this. Seriously, did you just...